abortion case before the Supreme Court and say, okay, we are canceling Roe v. Wade, and that is no longer good law because of that doctrine of stare decisis. They have to find a workaround in order to get rid of Roe v. Wade because it's already on the books. So yeah, Hyphen's absolutely right that there are a lot of systemic things in place that make change very difficult. And that's why I think, like all of the talk that you guys are having about this doing things at the local level is so important, because that's the place where you can make the biggest difference, because those are the people who you're interacting with every single day. If you can lift your community, then you can, as the tide rises, all the boats start to float higher, Schultz and Neeson,
Orlando and Hyphen, both of you
yeah,
just told me that I shouldn't do it, but that's exactly the reason why I want to become an attorney, because I would like to fight for our people on a local level. I've seen people get railroaded by prosecution with bullshit defense attorneys who had no idea what the hell they were doing, didn't care what happened, and they just cop pleas for these people. I can't stand seeing that. So yes, I am going to go to law school, and I am going to fight on a local level.
I should stand.
You said don't go to law school. That's what you told me if I want to make a change.
I'm saying, okay, let me clarify.
I didn't say that yet, but
I always tell
I might have thought it.
I always tell people before you go to law school, because it is such a huge investment, and law school is excruciatingly draining. It literally, especially for Black people, it tears you down. And like, for example, scholarships are out there. They don't cover anything past your first semester. And so now, you're an attorney trying to get work for the state. The state doesn't pay you that much. I'm $200,000 in debt, and the state doesn't pay you that much. So you end up overworked. And a lot of the things that you want to do, like, I love working with prisoners. I got so many people out of Louisiana State Penitentiary for men. There are people who are doing that without law degrees. I'm not saying...
Wait, what?
Yeah, because I do parole.
No, you got to DM me.
So a great way that you might want to look at getting involved, look at what people do, like parole work. It's a very forgotten aspect of the law. But a lot of times, if there's like a local parole and re-entry clinic in your area, you can volunteer and you can work with them. You can help, contact. Because I actually, when I said I had a call, I was talking to someone that was from my school doing that. You can see what you can do. Like when you're...
Fuck Tinder, I'm just going to be a parole officer.
when you're doing stuff like as a lawyer, you're not necessarily changing the law, because at the end of the day, you are going to be restricted by what that judge says. That's why I was saying, look at your local judges and see what you can do to change them, because I've had a lot of people that have made very good arguments, and the trial judge, the appeal judge, and the Supreme Court are going, no, no, no. And that's it.
And the other thing to keep in mind too is that there's this, sorry, Hyphen, go ahead and finish, but I want to piggyback on what you just said.
Yeah, I am jaded, because like I said, I just graduated law school. I just took the bar. I just started working. I hated every minute of it. I love helping people and I love doing that. It's just... it's a very difficult career choice. And I think a lot of times we come in and we do want to help people. Like, my end goal is to be a public defender, but they don't hire straight out of law school. So I have to do some other stuff. Mm-hmm. And we come in and we have this ideal of what we're going to do, because that's how it's been packaged to us. And then you get into law. The law is a very conservative field, and I could go on for hours about why the judge acted that way, but that's because the law is conservative and protectionist in its core. So it's hard.
And one of the ways this is one of the things that I was going to say about that. One of the things that they do is there's a lot of goalpost moving in the law as well. So, for example, if somebody thinks there needs to be sentencing reform, in other words, it said, they say, hey, look, we are sentencing people too harshly. They're spending too much time in prison. We need to fix this so that they're not spending as much time in prison. Then they change the sentencing guidelines, so now certain offenses don't put somebody in prison anymore for as long. And you think, oh, great, this is a great big victory. This is awesome. But then what you don't realize what happens is that now you've just moved the place where that decision gets made. So if the judge can no longer decide how long somebody is going to go away based on whatever law it is that they committed, now instead the prosecutors and the defense attorneys are having a negotiation about what the defendant is going to be charged with. And at the end of the day, the result is almost the same. They still end up going away almost for as long. It's just that the point of the negotiation isn't taking place between the prosecutor and the judge, because the judges are hands are tied based on what the statute says.
Yeah.
Now it's the prosecutor going to the public defender saying, hey, look, we think this guy needs to go away for 15 years. Here's what we're going to charge him with in order to get there.
Yeah, those discussions, they happen a lot. I know Angela Davis, whether you love her or you hate her based on, I think, her landlord status, or what was that, bell hooks? I don't remember which one. One of her books, she talked about the purposeful over-sentencing of prosecution.
The actions that I had talked about were done in bad faith. The actions that I had talked about were done in bad faith.
And they might pull it out of their ass and get first degree. But to save you, we're going to have to plead to manslaughter, which is definitely what they could get you on. But it's nailed in the coffin. And then when you plead, you're probably going to get a max sentence. You probably, in certain states, waived your right to appeal. So then you're fucked. Mm-hmm. And it's all a mess. And I just, so I don't.
I just, and you also have the element of like mandatory minimums, which is, thank Joe Biden. And so, and that's the problem. And the other issue is,
let's go, Brandon.
Yeah. Like the issue is like, what I was going to say, the issue is like, if you want to go.
Wait. Who the fuck just said, let's go, Brandon, in here? Who said that?
What the fuck?
Because I'm not doing this shit with you. We have already established we don't fuck with him.
He was making a reference. It was me, comrade.
He was just saying, yo, hold up. Just to be fair, he was just saying fuck Joe Biden, like the censored version.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry,
but I feel like if you get up here with that anyway, you're really not listening. So I don't.
Oh, I won't do it again.
It sounds like a like a dog whistle.
It's fine. Jokey jokes are fine, but I didn't know if somebody approved somebody, and like I was triggered for a second.
There's somebody else who used it earlier, but but you have the mandatory minimums, and what everybody's kind of been saying, like if you do want to go into law, like my dad is a lawyer. He kind of worked in construction, trying to get more and more black people into like large government projects, like the DIA airport. My dad helped get that for the company he worked for, and he got a lot of minority businesses. That's the way he tried to use laws to kind of, or being a lawyer to advance the community. But the issue is, if you're talking about the system right now, it is structurally corrupt to the core. Like, and what I mean, it's structurally like there are no real functional mechanisms to change the inherent mechanism itself, unless you go through Congress. But at the end of the day, the people in Congress are the people who are actually, corrupting the system. Like, a lot of people don't know this. When Donald Trump was in office, while Chuck Schumer was the minority leader of the Senate, he was fast tracking Donald Trump's lifelong appointed federal judges. He was not just like normal process. He was fast tracking them. And so what that means is these are judges that make the biggest, largest, and hugest decisions across the entire country. They have been perpetuated and put in these positions of power by the Republicans, but also by the behest of the Democrats and the willingness of the Democrats. And so if you have a political party, so what you're talking about is a system that has inherently been designed to support the right wing, the racist, the fascist, as a mechanism of just the reality of it. And the problem is, you can't enter that system and change it because it is structurally designed to fight against change inherently. And I'll just kind of end on this. There was actually there have been multiple cases of judges, like literally in protest against the law itself, saying, I literally do not think you deserve this. I don't even think you should be in jail. I have no other option but to sentence you for 15 years. There have been like videos of judges like literally saying this because of the stuff like the mandatory minimums and the system set up. So at times, even the judges themselves don't have the power to, make changes or make actions. But, if you look at the Rittenhouse, you also have, and this is the problem. And I'll just kind of end here. You want to talk about like justice being blind, but you know what I mean? There is no justice if the DA, the jury, or the judge is racist. You know what I mean? That is an element that has not been factored into any of these discussions about the nature of the law. The problem is that it is just corrupt to the core, and it by its very design is corrupt and just getting more corrupt. And I honestly, looking at the system and even looking at the system from like a law background, I don't think it's changeable. I don't think that you can restructure this in any.
I'm the teens I told her, Ultra beam out the solar. Oh, these niggas dumb. And they claim me for the culture, trying to keep my composure. When I scream at the chauffeur, I ain't mean, I'm just focused. I ain't mean, bitch, I'm focused. Yeah, this the one and only. You can't tell a unicorn from a pony. Live freedom, this is freedom. Fuck your feelings, you can keep them. Show your grill when you greet them. My nigga near when you meet him. Know God when you see him. Love God, you gon' need him. Got the whole game for 400 years. The prophecy 2019. Them niggas is rogue, those niggas is rogue. Them niggas ain't broke like me. Hop off the boat like me. Y'all ain't smoke like me. Y'all ain't supposed to fight me. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Outside they been needy, told them money they seedy. We're the product, we're the juice. We going wild, we staying loose. Pump on the Zeus, we got the beat. Niggas is on, fuck what they do. I'm on the through, we in the street, we going through. We like the weed, y'all niggas easy. Pump on the weed.
So I'm gonna have to leave in a minute, but I just wanted to end with like one or two more things, if that was okay.
Sure.
So firstly, I'm just letting everybody know I'm usually on private. I'm probably gonna soft block a bunch of people that followed me because y'all don't need to see my anime tweeting, and I don't need them. But I think kind of going in line with what the last few people said about the racist system. If anybody is ever interested in Louisiana's non-unanimous juries, it was a really big thing here. They've been fighting it for years. And when they took it to the Supreme Court, it is in the Supreme Court transcript in the record where they have the Louisiana Constitutional Convention of 1887, where they said they were making non-unanimous juries a thing because they wanted to disenfranchise Black voters. And this is the kind of thing, like, this was over 100 years ago, and it has fundamentally permeated how we do prosecutions in this state because, again, Louisiana has a very draconian habitual offender law. You are convicted of one felony, first-time offender, second-time felony, second-time offender. Usually by your third-time a felony, even if it's a minor felony, you're going away for the rest of your life, no matter what. And those can be non-unanimous.
Louisiana, see, I got family in Louisiana, so I can speak a little bit about this. Louisiana is all fucked up. My dad is under 70 years old and went to a segregated school. That the whole state weird. It's so fucked up. Like,
may I say something that's probably going to just
go ahead. I love it so much, but I can't live there.
I love Louisiana. My whole family wants me to leave as soon as my gig is up, and I might. There was actually a case when I was a first year in law school where New Orleans PD picked up a Black man in New Orleans. This is fucking New Orleans, where there's a lot of Black people. Homeboy gets arrested by white cops, and he says, "Hey, yo, I want a lawyer dog." Cops don't give him a lawyer. Trial court doesn't give him a lawyer. Appeals court doesn't give him a lawyer. The Supreme Court of Louisiana said that this man didn't ask to invoke his right to counsel because he was asking for a canine with a JD. That is a fucking law in this state.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm legitimately serious because I was one of the only Black people in my first year class, and everybody white thought that was fucking hilarious. I almost cried because this man was he was serving life without parole because they didn't give him an attorney. So he pled, and the Supreme Court said that was fine. And it's like you get into law school, and it's like, well, if that case ever comes before my desk, and I have to, you have to cite that when you present information to any court, trial, intermediate appellate, high appellate, supreme. If there's a case that is against what you're saying and you don't present it, you can get in fucking trouble. And so that's law. The Supreme Court of the United States isn't going to pick that up. Now, we all know that, if anybody ever tried that shit again, they'd probably get fucking jumped. But that's the mindset. And then to anybody else in here that may or may not be a leftist, there's a reason why I have usually a locked account with an anime Abby. If you're interested in becoming an attorney, you can be disbarred for inciting insurrection against the United States of America.
Are you fucking dead ass?
When I applied for my bar license, that is a question.
What?
You can be disbarred or denied your law license, which means you can't practice law. You can have a JD, which is you graduated law school and you can do certain things. But if you want to go into a trial, you have to have a license for that state. The law license application cost me $500 and then $300 something to take the bar prep course, and then another $80 to take the test. And if they run the background check on you and find that you may or may not be a communist or you may not have insurrection, they can deny you. And that's perfectly legal.
Wait, can you repeat that part?
You can be denied a law license or possibly disbarred for engaging in activities that incite insurrection. There's a reason against the United States. There's a reason why if you see a lot of people that claim to be lawyers but also claim to be communists, they never have their real name attached to the account. Because that is actually a disbarrable offense or a deniable offense. And they will run a background check. They ran a 10-year background check on me. I'm 26. What the fuck I got?
Dog, I hate that shit because when I got my license to sell health insurance, they were like, give us your 10-year work history. Bitch, I am 20. I'm 24. You want to know what high school I went to?
It wasn't just work history. They wanted my addresses. They wanted my employers. They wanted my IRS tax information.
I don't even remember where the fuck I was living at 14 years old. They ask you all these deep ass questions. I'm not old enough to even answer half of
these. Yeah, and if you don't answer properly on the bar application, if you don't answer,
they'll deny you your life. They will deny you a health insurance license.
Just not just deny you for us. You get pulled in front of the bar examiners and put in a hearing about why did you lie, and you're like, I didn't lie, I just didn't fucking know.
Holy shit!
I almost got mine rejected. I almost got mine rejected because I was missing some stuff that they didn't tell me to miss. But that's for another time and place. But
hey, I hyphenated.
Yeah,
honestly,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
You were telling the truth. I would love to hear it. And honestly, I guess I'm kind of fucked up in the head because I'm going harder. I'm about to go take 3 more LSATs. Get ready for this damn exam.
No, I don't blame you.
Like for real, sister. I love what you're doing. I love the information that you're spreading. But I just can't take it no more. No, I'm 37 years old, man. I've been through some shit. And I'm trying. I got people. Honestly,
no, take that passion and use it.
Exactly, Joe. Whatever you can do to make a difference, do that shit.
Make your difference. Right. I just don't like people going blind because they blindside a lot of young Black people, and then they be racist when they get in there when they try to ban all.
And it's racist, and just reading how the law just doesn't give a fuck about you. Is just the most depressing shit.
It breaks my heart every day when I do what I do, and it's like I cried in my office on my first day because I got a case and there was literally nothing I could do for this person. This person was this person, like, I'm using complete confidentiality because, you know, I'm just going to make it up. This person was under the age of 19 and they weren't going to get out. So they were like 55. There was nothing I could do for this person. Like, it's like what you go to school for, and you can't help, you know, young Black people in this state, you know, like signing my name and like giving it and being like, this is what the law says. Like, I cried on my first day, and, you know, I'm young Black. Both my parents are Black. You know, my dad had to come down from the state I live in and have my license in, and he had to come down like 2 weeks after I started to just hug me, because I was like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, so I'm not saying don't do what you want to do. If that's your passion and that's your calling, please, we need everybody that we can get. But I just don't like it because a lot of Black people that I know who graduated with me, they say we were fucking blindsided, man, you know, and then they hit you with that debt too, because you get to law school and it'd be all rich white people whose parents paying the tuition, like, you know, and you $25,000 in debt. And these judges, mind you, when you want to clerk for them, they want to pay you $28,000 a year. Fuck you.
Yeah, and the other thing I just want to add is, like, that debt is a mechanism to get you in the system also. Yep. You know what I mean? It is there to kind of like you go there thinking like, oh, I wanna help people, I want to change this system, I want to engage in all this other stuff. The reality is they're setting you up for debt. And a lot of Black people get set up for this fucking debt because the only way to get out from under it is to serve the capitalist system. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, and I think like, you know, we all respect where you're coming from. I just think that, you know, it's just like go in it eyes wide open. You know what I mean? Because it's rough.
Yeah.
I'm going in. I own my own businesses, bro. I'm too hard headed to work for somebody, so I figured out how to get my own money. You know, so that for me is a fucking joke, because I just took a look at the United States debt itself, and it's hilarious that
bro,
like,
they got fucking audacity to tell me my credit score is X amount of my credit score is X number when you niggas are in debt more than I have even. I can't even fathom that number.
I love the tweets where it's like, don't loan what you can't afford to lose because you need to go on and count that a loss for me.
Exactly. Like,
right, because
y'all
baby, I ain't paying shit. I ain't paying shit back.
But
and the only reason I don't have student debt is because I decided to be a sugar baby in college.
And that was smart.
That's the only reason I don't got no fucking debt. I had old white men paying my fucking tuition.
I wish I would have done that.
And I think the last time I made a payment, I paid $300. Like that shit, like it shouldn't come to that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to spend my free time during college going on dates with old crusty ass men, pretending like I care about them to pay my tuition.
Yeah, they make us for law school. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. If you're interested in going to law school, I recommend, if you want to do that, get you some experience first. Go work at a firm as like a clerk or a paralegal. Get you some experience, because then when you need work, like I did, you're in school, because you have to work in law school. You cannot graduate if you don't do internship. So I'm basically paying to work.
What
the? Yeah, I needed 6 credit hours of internship based work to graduate. If you don't, which was a problem because of COVID, because people weren't hiring. There's a huge hiring freeze on attorneys right now because they're very backlogged. But if I'm just saying this to help. If you want to go, see if you can get some connections before you go in. That way you have people that you can, 1, you know what working in a law office is like. 2, you got people to put on your resume. And 3, when you need work, you can be like, hey, I worked for you, and they're more inclined to pay you when you come back, because they were talking about minimum wage earlier. I was making minimum wage partially as a student attorney. So it wasn't just these manufacturing jobs.
That's fucking crazy.
This is somebody with 2 bachelors and essentially a fucking doctorate that they wanted to be like minimum wage. So I know
that's part of the problem with the system right there, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
You gotta look at it. Why the hell are you gonna put all this extra work in to save these Negroes that these police done threw all these charges on, if you ain't got enough money to get yourself a pack of noodles? That's
there's
fucked
a
up.
reason when I'm saying when you get to law school, because I have no doubt that you're gonna get in. So I'm gonna say when. I don't say if. When you get there, you will see a gross, like, I am not joking. In my law schools have 3 classes of people, your first year, your second year, and third year. In all 3 of the third year, in all 3 classes, I think there were 15 Black people, 5 of them women. it is almost completely white. It is completely almost all people from money, because it is a huge income gap. Like, so like they do that shit. It's intentional. It's on purpose. I personally don't believe in the idea of a progressive prosecutor. I don't believe in a lot of things involving the justice system, but I have to do what I can to help. And there's almost, if there's anybody in here that's an undergrad that's thinking about law school, get involved earlier rather than later, because a lot of times if you're not looking to go into the courtroom, a lot of stuff you can do without a JD or a law degree and save yourself a couple $100,000 and a lot of stress and not an alcohol addiction budding at like 25.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Yeah, but let me go ahead and go. Like I said, I'm gonna end up soft blocking a lot of people. It's nothing personal because I got to go back on private. But y'all have had a great space. This has been very informative. Y'all did a lot of thought. Y'all tolerated a lot more bullshit than I probably would have, because it got crazy. But yeah, I wish all y'all gonna have a great day, great night. You're definitely gonna get into law school if that's what you want to do, and if when you come out of law school and get your license, maybe I'll see you like in the courtroom or something if I go back.
Yes, Lord. Black lawyers matter.
Yeah, there's a lot of, if you can get in with a black lawyer sooner rather than later, even before you go to law school, do it, because they are a reference for life. I'm getting
Boo, boo.
And the lead in the water, we saw that it up in Flint or whatever. We get exposed to that because that's literally purposely built into the system. Like, that's what they do. They know these things happen. So I just want to put out there that if I hear everybody talking about going to law school, which is very important. That was my first love. I thought about that one too. But engineering is so important, because if everybody in engineering who are building the things we are living in and using every day look like the same people, because I was always the only black woman. It was other black people, but I was always the only black person in my class, a black woman in my class. So that being said, I think that is a space that needs to be diverse as well. It's engineering, science in general, because
I agree with you on that.
If we can't build it, you know what I mean? Then what if we need to start somewhere, and I think that's a start. That's a start, as well as the law. I think we need to start all over with the law. Like, I hear the law, I say out of that conversation, because personally I just think the Constitution needs to be scrapped and started all over. So that's my comment on that one. So I'm going back to the engineering, which I can do something about.
Yes.
Infrastructure, because I can't do anything about the law until they scrap it. That's not, but I don't know. I'm a little overwhelmed right now because it's been all day coming and I've been dealing with my own things. So engineering, and that is so important. That's all. I can't stress that enough, because I don't even know if a lot of people know what engineers do. As a child, before I went to school for that, I thought train engineers. That's all I thought about when I heard engineer. It was like, oh, people that drive a train. But engineers literally build everything. Everything you see, even our phones that was software, I mean, not software, but engineers, you know? So if we are not in those spaces to build the things we need, then what else can we do? And it's hard because, okay, and I'm gonna step back actually for a moment because I already know it's not easy to get in school because the money is not there. Went through that.
Wait. There are community schools. Let's not forget.
Oh, okay. I don't know about community schools. Wait. That's something I ain't heard of. You telling me something?
Yeah.
No, I
we
do
have
think that
community schools.
engineering can be very inaccessible.
Yeah.
It absolutely can. My little brother, he is not a very strong reader, but that motherfucker can write a formula like nobody's goddamn business. I have seen him build things from the ground up. He is a fantastic engineer, and schools won't take him because I mean he's not a strong reader. You could put so many things in front of him and he can get them done. And that's one of the issues with just the education system in general. It makes it inaccessible for people who have strengths.
And now, exactly, it is. You're right.
Oops, sorry.
No, I was listening.
I was gonna say, comrade, hear me out though. Your brother basically already knows the hard part.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because engineer is not an easy degree to get into at all. So if he's able to write formulas and stuff like that, then he's already basically
in there.
The hard part.
Yep.
For real. Yeah, I think he's.
No, he really has.
Like,
I'm fucking like that dog because all he does is scream on the Xbox and like build shit, and I'm like, what are you? I can't wrap my head.
How old is he? Do you mind me asking? I have a 15-year-old son.
He's 20. He is 20. He'll be 23 this year.
I love it when I see people like that because it's natural. It comes natural. Like you said, he does that naturally. Right. What I've learned in my time is that, I mean, I know universities do what they do, but like, I forget who said it earlier. I think it was by the people. We live in a time where everything is free. We literally can learn anything we need to learn for free online. That is something I learned. It takes time and it's not as easy, but if you have the time, especially as young as someone at like 23, if you have that time, you could teach yourself certain things. And that's when you start business. And honestly, I don't know how to answer. I was going to say honestly something else, but I don't have the answers. I just know that this is a part of the conversation I don't ever hear anyone talk about is the infrastructure part of it. And that is so vitally important because.
Yeah, we saw that fucking condo.
Yes.
Like that's
exactly. And not even just that, because I know we think about condos and stuff, architect, but even just something simple as our food. I went to school for biological engineering.
And roads and sidewalks. One thing that pissed me off about living south of Atlanta, most of those cities don't have sidewalks, and it is so inaccessible to walk
literally
to food sources, and that's engineered that way.
I said the same thing.
Made that.
Yes, I lived in upstate South Carolina for a while, and I'm like, they engineered this place to be unwalkable. They engineered. You can see where they engineer things. You need to have a car. And what is that? That's spending more money. They make it to where we have to have these things. So we need.
There's no buses either. So
exactly.
Good fucking luck.
And so exactly. And I know that's a part of the picture that I don't really hear people talk about. And it's because it's hidden. We take that for granted. Having sidewalks and be able to drive down the street on a road that's, because it's hidden. But those are the.
No, that's one thing I took into account. I don't like driving. Yeah. My license is currently suspended. I always have to think about how walkable is my neighborhood, and I have to think about the racial content in my neighborhood. I have to think about the policing, like aggression in my neighborhood. There's so many things that, like, as Black people, like, I have the privilege to be able to live in places where I have the option to look at those things. So if you have that opportunity where you can just up and move. I just moved to Washington.
Yes.
That is a privilege. So many
I did the same thing.
Have.
Yes.
And the reason I picked Washington is because the public transport is good, and I can walk any damn where, and I'm not going to be stuck in one spot like you are in the South. The South is fucking horrible.
It's
horrible for any type of infrastructure. It's fucking horrendous. And even if you do have a fucking
it's horrible.
It's bad.
It's horrible. It's literally horrible. I moved from the South for the same reason. I moved. Yeah, exactly. And so I guess that's all I wanted to say was just I want to mention engineering because that is something I just don't hear talked about in general. I heard someone mention doctor earlier. I mean, I don't know if it was your chat, but medical, but engineering. You're right. It was this one, right? Yeah. Engineering is the only thing I haven't heard brought up. And I really think that I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but if things are falling apart and things are not as sound as they should be, then that's just causing more issues. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
We're overlooking engineering a lot. We absolutely overlook engineering for sure. People don't talk about infrastructure and how it's failing and how infrastructure is.
Oh my God, 100%. That's what I was saying. Redlining. Yeah. That's what my paper was. Yep, literally. I mean, literally redlining. Yeah. So thank you for letting me talk. That's all.
Thank you so much for coming up here and giving a unique opinion. We'd love to hear that. California Car Store.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you,
darling. All right, I was literally just finna touch on redlining and how they were able to destabilize entire communities from ever moving up through the ranks and into nice neighborhoods strictly by redlining. So it was awesome to hear you bring it up right before I got to talk. But let me say one thing. I got 2 points to bring up, but I do want to say rest in peace, Young Dolph. There's a GoFundMe for Makita's Butter Cookies if you guys want to donate at all, just to help them renovate the shop and fucking get grief counseling for all that shit. So rest in peace, Young Dolph.
Is it on your page?
No, it is not.
Did you retweet
Actually,
it?
I should put that on my page. Fuck, my bad. But nah,
No, it's okay. I'll find it and put it in the projector. Go ahead.
But okay, back to my first point. Basically, okay, so I kind of came into the conversation a little bit early, and I just smoked a blunt, so I was kind of just flowing through and listening to what everybody got to say. I really thought that conversation between those two people in law school, that was awesome to hear. That intellectualism just go back and forth, and it was a very knowledgeable conversation. But back to my first point, I don't think anything's going to change until we can get money and corporate out of corporations and politics. I don't think any of this shit is finna change until, like, I don't know, someone mentioned earlier the 5 corporations that basically run everything. Monsanto completely running our food supply and killing people in low income neighborhoods through fast food, through terrible eating. There's so many things that the government does to just destabilize people completely. And fuck, yeah, I'm so fucking high.
Dude, all that smacking you just heard, I just had an edible and I'm feeling
oh man, I had like this whole thing planned in my head, and
I remember how I said I just moved to Washington. It's because it's legal here too. It wasn't just because of public transportation. I wanted to buy weed at the store.
I'm in San Diego, and low key, I swear to God, I forgot I even had my hand up until you said my name, and I was like, oh shit, I had this whole thing planned in my head. But I said this on Moss podcast. I think, or not podcast, but fucking space. This is my second space. I didn't even know y'all had this until today. But fucking, I said this in my space earlier, and I think we have become soft, and hear me out, as leftists, in the sense that we're just too nice. It's constant. We think reform's gonna change it, and we think talking to them and trying to fix the laws within and doing all this shit. And it's not. If you look at history, violence, and I hate to say it, but real organized revolution is what changes shit. And it is. But that means motherfuckers need to get out of their house and get off their Xbox. And I'm guilty of it.
No.
I'm guilty of it.
No, because listen, shit. Okay, what just happened with the case, whatever the fuck case this is. Do you truly think that's the best thing we should be doing? We are minorities.
But it's not. That can be very inaccessible. I think that one point, I do think that we do need to get the fuck up. I don't disagree with that. I think that one thing that we do miss is that a lot of the people that do agree with our viewpoints are disabled. They cannot be in the streets, especially now.
online organizing is the best we can do sometimes.
No,
That's true. But listen, hear me
I have
out.
nothing against the online organizing. I think that's a great start.
Yeah.
And that was nothing to go against what's happening here. I think what's happening here is amazing. But I'm talking about when they are already on the streets, or we're already on the streets. When they burnt down that police station, that was powerful. That was fucking real shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, when stop with the garbage cans, stop with the businesses. Let's organize and burn down what's going to hurt them, so they sit down at the table, because they're never going to sit down at the table until they feel the same pain that people have felt for years and years and years. And that's what it is. That's history. And it sucks to think that violence is,
period.
It just is what it is. And if you look at history, no one relinquishes power peacefully. No one's just like, okay, I'm gonna give it to you because you guys did
you waited so patiently.
Yeah, you guys
and you marched down these roads so nice.
Right, you guys did a really good job at learning law, and now you guys can get the same amount of power as us. No, it's not gonna happen. That's a fairy tale. It's a dream, and it's wishful thinking, because I would love a peaceful world, but fuck, it's just reality. And I think it's a reality that a lot of people need to face. And you need to learn how to grow your own food. You need to stop relying on the government for a lot of this shit, because they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about the Republicans. They care about the corporations that give them money, and they're going to pander to them all fucking day long. And that's what it is. If they can get money to run a campaign to say some stupid shit to their base that's anti-abortion or whatever's going to get them the fuck elected by some mouth breathers, that's what they're going to do. And sorry, now I got into it. See, I started flowing. Fucking.
I'm sorry, that was funny. I haven't heard the term mouth breathers in so long. It's just.
But fuck, I mean, that's what they are.
My personal favorite is window lickers.
Aline, why do you have your hand up, darling? You're a co-host. Go ahead.
Nah, my boy was cooking. I wanted him to keep going, because he's talking truth.
But on some real shit, look up the case Bernard Noble. That man was sentenced to 13 years in jail for 2 grams of marijuana in Louisiana because of the third strike law, due to our good man Joe Biden. And he got convicted of 2 possessions of cocaine when he was 18 years old. He's 53 years old now, riding his bike to work. Gets pulled over with 2 grams. Initially, the judge didn't even want to sentence him, but he had to, again, due to these dumbass laws that
mandatory. Okay, can I say something? Can I say something? So my question is, okay, we are already losing people from like COVID, like black people. People are dying, right? Can we all agree on that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. People are definitely dying.
So my thing is, why would you want to burn buildings? They have weapons. We don't. First of all, I just want to say that
that's not true.
You have to get weapons.
We don't have none of that. So therefore, there is
you
an
have to get the protection.
alternative way to
that's when
make
you use
changes
the
in the world.
them.
There's other alternative ways. Like the other lady was
hold
on.
Though. I mean,
in engineering. We need to listen. We need to help each other want to get educated. That's what really needs to happen. We need to be able to continue these conversations.
Yes, but the question is, what happens after the education?
Wait, but that's exactly what I want to. That's what I want to touch on,
then
Brando.
you go into those industries.
That's what I want
to.
to take.
Like,
this is exactly where I want to touch on. What the education you need is the fact that you living in hell, and the hell keepers are not going to let you out if you play your way along, or if you play your way along. They don't care about that shit. What they care is bodies, warm bodies in their fucking buildings on Monday morning. That's all they want from you. and you can die afterwards because there's another body to replace you. If you so care to act up, you're right, they have guns. And if you do not have a gun, that means you need to go get a gun and be comfortable around a gun because there's going to be a time where this all falls apart. The education you're talking about leads to the end because capitalism has no choice but to eat itself. If you look closely now, billionaires are now coming after millionaires. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's
That's
just
a
crazy.
thing
It's actually wild to
because
see.
Wait, can you
they
send me
don't
like a
care.
Think
source
about
on that?
the greatest
If you have an
invention from
article.
capitalism is privatized prisons. You have to be fucking kidding me. You have
Yeah.
developed a system.
Well, hold on, because I'm
Okay,
not
I
done. Because
apologize.
I am not done.
Go ahead, spit.
You when listen, I love all this shit. I love coming in here on spaces. Again, my name is Space God, and I only name myself that because there's nobody in here with more space hours than me. I literally let my phone sit for 18 hours to let my friends on Twitter talk on spaces, and we talk
Hey, Aleem.
revolutionary talk. I promise you,
Aleem,
every fucking day.
I don't mean to
Every
interrupt, but
fucking
I just
day.
want to let you know that while I believe in you, but you're not my space god.
I don't give a
I know
fuck
you
what you
don't.
think.
Anyway, carry on.
He said he's everybody's space god mom.
But yeah, no, it's when they're in here and we're talking these things, it's a good feeling, and it's good to know that you're putting good information out there. And you know, if you want to go out there and protest and hold a sign, that's fine too. Make some noise. I'd rather you not go to Main Street, go to these rich motherfuckers' houses. That's where you need to be. You need to make sure they don't go to sleep tonight. If you really angry, don't go to fucking Filene's and fucking Macy. Anyway, but all that shit is not for me. I am a revolutionary. I do not believe in reformism. Reformism is what we've tried to do this whole entire time. And what California was talking about when them shits was burning down is revolutionary action. It felt good because that's how humans work. If you look at any revolution in history, it's the feeling of freeness, the feeling of liberation, will keep those people together.
Period.
You're not going to get that any other way unless you fight for it. You have to be willing to die for it. I myself know I'm not going to see the fucking fruits of this labor. I've come to grips with that. It's not for me. It is not for me, and it is not for you. It's for the people up under you. It's for the people that are 6 and 7 now who are going to inherit this earth the shitty way we got it, but 10 times worse.
Hey.
And the same way we look at boomers and everybody above as if they fucking failed us, we are failing them actively because we're not taking the necessary steps to ensure their future. Fuck our future. I'm 29 years old. I'm a black man. I am very fortunate to make it to 29. And there are black men under me that won't make it. And it is my job. It is my job to make sure of that. What we speak here is what I speak. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but what I speak is revolution. First thing about a revolution, defend yourself. Learn how to defend yourself with all tactics, with all weapons, as much as you can. There is more of us than there is of them. So don't ever think they can outgun you. Not for one fucking second. Not as long as you are willing to pick up a gun.
They got tanks, bro. Them shits is bulletproof, cuz.
Hey, who drives those tanks? Not the millionaires. There ain't a millionaire driving a tank. I never heard of that.
People who believe
Master
in the
P is the only
millionaires are the
one.
ones driving the tanks, for real.
That's why
No,
we
they
have
pay
to,
somebody.
that's why we
No,
have to go
sir,
from
They
educated
pay somebody to drive that tank.
education
They pay them
first
bare minimum
step.
wage, $7.25 in the Army.
Can I please follow that?
I have one thing. I got one last thing to say before I step down, and I'm just be a listener. But my last thing is the last peaceful means I could see to really destabilizing the power structure we have right now, where these billionaires continue to just swallow everything, is y'all should really, really look into cryptocurrencies. And I'm not talking about the Shiba Inus, the where people put $1,000 and become a millionaire in 13 days. I'm not talking about that bullshit. I'm talking about the real shit. If you look at Bitcoin, the top 5 holdings, the number 3rd is the Chinese government. The number 5 is the United States government. There's a reason why they've accumulated this over time, and they're going to continue to do it because they want to control us when we move into this next phase. And this next phase is Web 3.0. It is the internet moving to a different level, and I really want everybody in here to educate themselves as much as possible. If y'all have, that's great. If y'all just continue to educate yourself on this shit and where we're leading to technologically, because that is the last chance that we have to flip this structure in a peaceful means. We could, if millions and millions of people put a couple $1,000, whatever you have, whatever you can save up, you can flip shit and you can make an impact. The top 10.
Yeah, but you have to have money to flip. If people,
I agree.
This is what I don't like about you cryptocurrency people. I don't have $25 to save every check. All of my money is accounted for. I can't invest my way out of poverty. I don't make enough fucking money.
Trust me, I feel it. I'm a hustler.
Wait.
Pops was.
Hey, can I have this one real quick?
Bro.
It's not about hustling. I shouldn't have to work.
Brando.
I shouldn't have to work my job and do an investment hustle on the side in order to fucking survive.
Here's the problem.
I shouldn't have to do that.
Hold on. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency in general. And it was mentioned in a previous space, and I want to reiterate that point just to drive it home, because the truth of the matter is that cryptocurrency is just another form of capitalism. All right. Yep. That's what got us into this problem to begin with.
Facts.
Secondly, Brando's right. It does require capital to even get into it, and if you lack the resource to get into it, then where does that leave you? It leaves you fucking behind the pack. And if you're behind the pack, then what does that say? It's another form of inequality. So I understand the appeal to crypto, and I also think that a lot of cryptocurrency advocates have their hearts in the right place when it comes
I've
to
seen Ethereum do great things for people. I'm not going to take
working outside of the system, right? But the thing is that it's ultimately just bringing back the same system that we're trying to fucking get rid of in the first place.
That's where I have to disagree with you, because it is decentralized completely. The system we have currently is a single entity controlling basically everything that we have. That is the
California, you.
Wait, hold
on. You asked
because I want to make this point real quick, and you can go.
Because earlier he was talking about being self-sufficient, right? You were saying that you could hunt your own food, you had your own guns, you had your own land, your family knew how to use their guns. You could grow your own food.
That wasn't me.
Okay. But you did say you could grow your own food and that you were self-sustaining.
I said that Monsanto is killing us with the food, and we should try to do something.
I mean, the question here, though, you know what, Aleem, you're right. You go.
Okay, California. The thing about Bitcoin, let's put aside that you're still hoarding money, which is the definition of capitalism still. You're just creating a new dollar. Let's put that aside for a second and be honest with ourselves. What we're going to do with that Bitcoin, if it ever transfers over to Bitcoin, is to use Bitcoin. And what you're failing to realize is, although you got your decentralized money, quote unquote, your resources are not decentralized. You have to defeat imperialism, which says that you have to buy my fucking thing, no matter what currency you use. There is nothing you can do to go around the system but destroy the system.
Well, I would agree with the fact that though the government shows that they've already tried to basically take over the decentralized nature of cryptocurrency. So I understand where you're coming from.
Well, the issue here is that we don't want something to replace money. We don't want money.
I want to destroy
What?
currency. You
Currency
do
is
not
not
need
something that
currency
we
for
as humans
I've
like.
resources.
honest.
Things we need to go back because again, everything you need to survive the earth supplies. And if I can't build myself a house, I have other services or goods I can offer someone that can build me a house or can provide me services and goods. That's how humans lived forever until some niggas found some shiny metal on the ground.
Can I
So
speak?
it's
Can I
not
speak for
it's
just
not like this
like
isn't how
3 minutes, and then y'all can kick me out if you want to? Because
go ahead, Jordan. What do you have
I've
to
been
say,
in and
darling?
out of here for like 6 hours today. So and I've definitely learned some things. And just to give you an example, someone said earlier, why would I go to law school just to defend a guy who's going to get fucked by the system anyway? And that hit for me. Like, that's something I'd never considered before. And I'll spread that. Like I'm going to tell people, because that's something new for me. But I agree with Ali. Like, comrade, can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Do you own a gun?
I do.
How often do you practice with that gun?
I haven't been to a range out here yet, and I've only been up here a month. But I was
think you should go to that
I was
range
going to
like
join the
once a
Marine
week.
Corps. I am a fantastic shot with my handgun.
Like I'm white. There's my face. There's my name. I'm not hiding behind a Pepe frog or anything like that. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not. I know it's something that is said that like white people are scared of black people with guns. I'm not. When I go to the range and I see a black person with a gun, I like it. Like
Mhm.
I think it's the biggest self-own to be a black person in America and not own a gun. Like, you absolutely should have. You're a vulnerable population. You should have a gun.
And I will reiterate this once again for the entirety of the room. If you are black, I don't care what ethnicity you are. If you are a black person, get a fucking firearm. I don't care if
Abso-fucking-lutely.
it's a shotgun. I don't
Yes.
care if it's a handgun. Get you
Yeah,
something
but you can get in
to
trouble if
shoot
you got
with.
a charge though. If they put a bullshit
Who
charge on your
cares?
Yeah.
back,
What's more important?
Yeah,
you
but
What's
can't
more
get
important,
one.
your life or that charge?
I
What's
honestly
more
don't
Please.
think
important,
really
your
Who
life
anybody
or
cares?
should
that
trade
People,
off
charge?
on
that
anyone
is a
for it.
Oh no,
legitimate
I'm just
question.
saying that
People
you
do
can
have
still get in
families and
even
people
more
to
trouble.
provide for. That is a legitimate question. Get
But
yourself a
what's
knife.
more?
Get
No, no, no,
something.
no, no, no,
Get
no, no.
something
Hold
within your
on.
legal rights to
you're a
own to
vulnerable
defend yourself with.
population. You should have a gun.
Hold,
Like, you're a
hold
black
on,
woman.
hold on,
You should
hold
have a
on.
gun.
Because there's something you're missing here. You're protecting more than yourself. You are protecting your family. That's what I'm saying. Get comfortable around a firearm.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't have to get nothing crazy. Get something that's going to protect you.
Get something
That's all
crazy.
I'm asking.
I want every black woman in here, the
Get
best
an
gun I can
AR.
recommend to you. Get yourself a fucking shotgun. You don't have to aim it. You just point and fucking click. Get a shot.
Call of
Listen,
Duty taught you
with
that,
my
bro?
We could talk
wait,
about
hold
defense
on.
outside of that later, but get yourself
With
a fucking
my
shotgun.
with my piece, I let my niece and nephew know, hey, listen, this is what this is, and you don't fucking touch it. If I ever see you fucking touch it, it's hell to
Those are
ring.
just excuses. Like I'm scared about my kids getting it or my nephews getting it. Well, be responsible. Lock it up or whatever. But
Well,
get
guess
a
what?
gun.
And I hate to say it like this. I hate to say it like this, but then they're gonna go and get
Le
them
voy a entrar
because
a
you have
otra de las
nothing to
estas.
stop them from them going to get them.
Gracias.
It's hard out here, I know, and that's a hard fucking decision. But they leave you with nothing but hard decisions to make. And if you fail, that is it. America is unforgiving. I'm not telling anybody this for fucking new information. Y'all already know that.
Ali, I think
It's hard
you and
because they
I would
make it
not
hard.
agree about a lot of shit, but I absolutely agree that you should have a gun. 100%. Absolutely.
Everyone in this space should get themselves a gun.
Freud said, it is a sign of sexual and emotional immaturity to be afraid of weapons. Like, if you're afraid of a weapon...
All right. Nope. I have been shot at multiple times.
So have I.
I
Well,
have
not multiple
a
times, but I've been
fear.
shot at.
I have a fear of white men with guns. I do, and I will forever. So I'm not sexually immature. As a matter of fact, I am quite mature. That I'm just.
But you're not afraid of
scared to
guns.
be
You have
shot.
one.
But I'm also mentally ill, and that is an issue that I talk about a lot. It's hard for me to own a gun. It's hard as fuck for me to own a gun.
But it's
hard as
good
fuck
for
for a
you,
lot
though.
of Americans to
But
own
it's
a gun
good for you.
because most gun injuries are suicides.
Sure.
You know how hard it is to have a gun when you're going through depression? It's difficult.
Comrade,
that shit is hard and
I
scary.
have depression too.
And not everybody can do that. Not everybody can be on that level. Not everybody has that ability to own a gun when you're mentally ill, because it can be so easy to just snap and be done with it.
I understand that. I've looked at the gun on my table and I've looked at it too. Like I understand that. But like at the risk of sounding very fucking
I
stupid.
don't disagree. I think everybody should have a gun. I just think that many people have personal convictions as to why they do not. And that's why I encourage weapons enthusiasts like you and me to teach them, to give them, to educate them on knives and other lethal ways to protect themselves.
No.
Absolutely.
A knife,
absolutely.
a mace, it's never going to do the same. It's not an equalizer like
it's
a gun
not.
is.
It's not. But not everybody is comfortable with owning a gun. And if they make the decision they do not want to do that, we should step up and assist them in defending themselves with whatever they are comfortable with using. Yeah, maces are great, but if you spray some fucking bear mace on somebody, they'll be down. So you can teach people ways to defend themselves outside of a firearm.
Maybe.
But hold on. Because we have a saying that we like to say. When you teach somebody, you have to meet them where they are. If they are absolutely not, I don't want a gun, then that's when you have to warm themselves up to a gun. And not push. That's why I said I'm asking people. I'm asking you guys. And we it's important. So you have to treat it as if it's important. It's and because I stared at my gun.
Yeah.
I'm proud that I'm still here, and I'm proud that I still have it. But what Brando's saying is very true.
Can I?
You can lose people asking for shit like this, and if your goal is to save people, you want to save as much as you can.
I just I'm white. You see my face. If I woke up tomorrow a black person, I would go get my gun. I would have that strapped 100% of the time. Like if I woke up tomorrow a vulnerable population, I would have that gun with me all the time.
Don't worry, there are of us out here.
Crash, you would like
we are out here.
We are out here. I just think, I mean, the gun issue is an issue, but I think we understand, and there's a lot of perspective on it. So,
Crash would like to speak. I'm gonna let them speak.
Hi, how you doing? My name's Crash.
Fine,
thank you so much, comrade, for letting me into your space. I've actually been listening to you since I'm in California, so it's been since like 3:30, I guess. It's like 6 hours.
I'm in Washington, so it's like 9.
Nice, yeah. So I just there's a lot of things that you guys have been saying that I've like the last couple of hours. I'm like, fuck, dude, like I want to chime in, but I wanted to let other people have like a voice. And there's like some things that certain people that said that you brought on, and you like kind of let them like go on and on and on. And I just feel like you guys kind of came to a different point with the guns, where I kind of want to bring up something else, but I just want to address like the whole like something from a couple hours ago, like why, like where, in what fucking way is just, wow, you have it so much better than it used to be, so just be fucking happy. Like, what do you like?
Oh my God.
What do you fucking mean by that? Like, oh, you have so many more, right? What the fuck? First of all, it doesn't matter what fucking color you are, but like, how is that any kind of progress? Like, oh well, you have about 60% more rights than you did 60 years ago, so like, why aren't you happy? Like, oh, you want to go back to, it's like 0 to 100 with them. It's like, oh, you're not happy, you want to, like, you don't have rights, so either leave this fucking country or fucking just like bend over and fucking take it. Excuse, like, whatever. And
yeah, no, you're right.
Another thing, like another side point is, I just wanted to call out, I want to say, like, fuck yeah, like with the OnlyFans thing, I like, that's, shout out to you, like, that's dope as fuck. And I kind of wanted to comment on that because I'm also an OnlyFans creator. I'm in the top 0.45%, And the type of shit that like the type of living that we can make for ourselves, that's awesome, and I'm so fucking blessed. But that's I'm not really I've never really been into politics until like last year, until like I honestly stepped out of poverty and stepped into a new tax bracket, and I'm trying to learn all these words like what the fuck are you guys are we live in like the what kind of society you guys are talking capitalist. Okay, see, I'm not even really too sure what that even means, and I'm trying to
it's fine.
educate myself on that. And you know, like I said, like living wage and minimum wage, like it's and a lot of other people spoke about like when you guys are talking about the trade and barter, I'm totally into that, because I feel like if I have a certain set of skills and you have a certain set of skills, we could like exchange skills or for goods and stuff, you know what I mean? Like that's like that, but like really like, oh, you guys should check out digital currency. And no disrespect to anybody who's into that, because like everybody's allowed to have their niche, and if that's your niche, then cool, yeah, be all about fucking stocks and digital currency. But I'm in my world, that doesn't exist. My money is not like lucrative like that. Like I have to always know my income is like it's not steady. I always have to like make the right moves. And as you guys are talking about, like hustle, do this, like I say like two-part, like a full-time, part-time, and a little fraud on the side, like to like literally survive in like any like city part of the country. And I just want to say like oh, like if you're just gonna up minimum wage and stuff like that, just like to turn around and you're gonna up the minimum wage fucking 5 to 10% and then up everything around it 25%. That like, so if that's what like the whole capitalist like society is, what you guys are talking about, like totally right, like whoever was talking about earlier, like it's just gonna crash and burn. It's just that's never gonna be like our economic system just doesn't work. I've studied it for a long time, and it's just like it is gonna crash and burn. And then I also wanted to address another thing, where that guy, he started saying he was like Mo something, I don't know. It was like a long time ago, a couple hours ago, and he started being like, we experienced the same thing in like New Zealand or whatever, blah blah blah. Like, and then he was,
oh yeah, that one guy.
Yes.
What the fuck was he on
So
about?
every time anybody came in and like hours later commented, they all were talking about that Wall Street dude. But this guy specifically rubbed me the wrong way. And so like the reason why I jumped onto this podcast is because it said is it Skateboard Gate? Is that what it is? Yeah. And so like me and my mom are like super into like Pizzagate and shit like that. And I was like, what the fuck is this about? And then like I was listening to you guys, and I was like really intrigued with what you guys are talking about, and like it never actually like kind of actually revolved around what the original topic was supposed to be. And so I kind of just want to I kind of want to like bring that up a little bit. So with the whole situation where everybody's like, oh, like the cops not doing their jobs and shit. Okay, great. We all know that. We all know the cops don't do their fucking jobs. But you know, I'm 24 years old. I just realized the other day that my senior year started 7 years ago. You know what I mean? Like I just had that whole fucking existential crisis.
Oh no, I feel you. I just turned 25.
Yeah, so I just had that whole existential crisis the other day, and I was like, what the fuck, 7 years ago? And I remember I was really impressionable at 17. So let's write off like whatever Kyle Rittenhouse did. Like, I don't want to talk about, is it right? Is it wrong? Should he be free? Should he be in prison? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not, like, it's not that I don't care about that, but everybody else fucking beat that horse dead. So I kind of just want to bring up, like, why were they recruiting actual fucking children? So, like, not, does he deserve to be there?
That's their tactic. That's their tactic. I talked about this in one of the Mothler Aleem spaces a few days ago. There is a anti-Christian or anti-SJW to alt-right or fucking QAnon pipeline on YouTube. If you just watch the right YouTube video, you can let it autoplay and you'll wake up and it'll be some crazy Steven Crowder shit on TV.
What the fuck?
It's so slippery. You could start watching Blair White and end watching fucking Alex Jones. It's targeted towards teenage boys. The immature humor, the way they market shit. That fucking Che Guevara shirt, what's his name, was fucking selling. That shit is for teenage boys. They know what they're doing. And teenage boys feel ostracized because black women, black men, people of color, they're being uplifted and they don't feel like they're special anymore. So they're making them feel special. So now you've recruited all these teenage boys who feel like they need a place to go because no one's listening to the cis white men anymore, which isn't true.
It's not just teenage boys. It's like dudes in their 20s, 25
Yeah.
that ain't getting no pussy. That's just inside the house all fucking day. Trust me, I got a couple homies or
No, I know
ex-homies.
incels. I know incels.
Oh yeah, nah, these
They hate me.
these motherfuckers is wild. Like
they think women owe them pussy.
it's bizarre.
It's
I'm like,
crazy.
y'all ain't never even talked to a female. What the fuck? Oh my god. But anyway, sorry, I just had to butt in.
Woman,
they're
don't
hilarious.
use female, bro.
I mean,
okay. Hey,
don't use female. I know you're high. I'll excuse it, but try to.
It's all right. No, I just had to like let him know. I don't know. I don't like when people call.
Okay, so here's round two. Okay, so like all that other stuff, like I said, it's awesome. I appreciate you bringing me to my space. That one guy that was like, I'm from New Zealand, blah blah blah. He was like. To me, he was gatekeeping trauma, and so when he was saying that you guys hold on to material things, that is like literally not what he was saying. I know exactly what he was saying. We all know what the fuck he was saying. He was literally saying that like people of color gatekeep their communities. Like when you were.
He said we can transcend being black.
That is
for the people that weren't here. He said you can transcend race.
Into what?
No, you could just transcend and live above it.
He said you could become more than
he
your
was
skin
saying
color,
that we could get
basically.
some white privilege if we tried.
Meditation, baby. Meditation.
We said we could just let go of race and go to a higher plane and exist on the higher plane.
What he basically meant is if we think that if we believe hard enough that people don't look at us, then it won't be true. Like if you don't fucking look at the monsters and they're not there. Like if you don't open your eyes. The fucking monster's not right there.